Hi, my name's Francis, and this is my final project. Just a quick overview of why I'm doing this and then what my program does. I worked for a auto group over the summer and did some data analysis for them. And I asked them if I could use that same data for this project. And they allowed me access to it, but they didn't want me using real names or addresses. So I used ChatGPT to help me create a new data set using the same kind of metrics that they use. The purpose of this project or this program is supposed to be a tool for Baxter to send out personalized emails, basically advertisements to all of its customers that are within the database. So based when someone comes in to a Baxter dealership or a Baxter servicing station, they put in their information, like the year of the car, um, and their address, their zip code, blah 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 blah. And I'm going to use that information to kind of personalize ads for them. So for the important stuff, so this car age threshold is basically how I'm going to determine how who I want to send the emails out to, and that's basically going to be if your car is 8 years or older. And I'll explain how I calculate that later. But for the first function, basically I'm making a loop here and it runs it through all these if functions. And using the customer data, income, age, and area, it's going to run these loop functions to see which cars we should be recommending to you. So just a quick example here. I can't go through all of them because there's a ton. I put in every single Ford car basically on their website. But for example, this Ford Mustang here, another quick thing. I talked to one of the people, the general managers I worked with at Baxter at the Ford store, and he kind of gave me these ranges of like kind of how much money people have when they buy these cars, their ages, and then like where they're kind of from. So I kind of use that to make these if statements. So for example, let's go to this Ford GT here. The Ford GT is a luxury car, so the range of income is pretty high. So basically, if the customer has an income between $100,000 and $138,000, and they're between the ages of 40 and 60, it's going to recommend them the Ford GT. Also, this area is just another thing I had. It's just if you live in an urban or suburban area, it also takes that into account. Um, see, just another one here, like a Ford Bronco. They're still pretty expensive, but it's kind of for a younger demographic. So the range that's going to have here is between $70,000 and $100,000. The age is between 30 and 50, and the area, it doesn't matter. It's suburban or suburban or rural. So not people in urban areas don't really drive Ford Broncos because they're kind of like soccer mom car or like an off-roading car, I guess. And so how I calculated income, the data set did not have income. Like they don't make customers put in their actual income, but they gave him the zip code. So I looked up all of the average uh, median incomes for Omaha zip codes, and then I that's how I got that. So here, these are all of the if statements in this loop, and it runs through every single one of them, and will compound them for the final email. Um, Here's another function that basically extracts information from the customer data frame to run it through the loop. So um, just gets the zip code, the classification is just the area, and then gets the income from an income data frame, which is basically just the Omaha zip codes and the income. I didn't do the greatest job consolidating all of my data frames and stuff. It's very messy, and I still have some kind of work to do. I'll talk about that later. Here's another function. Basically, this is how it's going to generate the email. So it takes the year of your car. And like I said earlier, I'm only sending these emails out to people whose cars are 8 years or older. So it takes the current year, which is 2024, and it subtracts it by the car year, which I got from the customer data frame. So let's say it's 2024 now, and you bought your car in the year 2000, so your car's 24 years old. So it's going to send you an email because um, your vehicle is older than the threshold of 8 years. Um, it says it takes your income and everything, blah, blah, blah. And so if your car's age is greater than the threshold, which is 8, then it's going to send you these messages here. And if it doesn't, it's going to send you this message right here. But basically, this is being pulled from the customer data frame as well. It's going to say, dear customer name, we've noticed that whatever your past car was is now over a certain age. And we're going to send you some recommendations here. And I also have a link to the website. And then it'll just print it. And just for complete transparency, and this is kind of going into what I was hoping to just kind of going into the conclusion, the feedback section. Um, I really enjoyed this project. I really learned basically more than I think I did the entire year. And I got really carried away, and I tried to do some things that, were a little cocky and upload pictures and certain things like that. And in doing that, I kind of messed up a lot of my code. And so I'll have that fixed by the time you see this, but I just wanted to get this video out of the way. So right now, my code isn't actually putting out the types of cars. It has in the past, but since I was getting cocky, I kind of messed it up. So I kind of had to rebuild it, and I just wanted to get this out because it's kind of late. But as you can see, it's not printing out the actual recommendations. It's just kind of saying everything else. But I really enjoyed this project, and I really learned a lot, and the freedom I really enjoyed. So thank you for a great semester.